If you want to guarantee that your composing career is going to go absolutely nowhere, then all you have to do is follow these 6 easy steps. Number 1 is to never evolve your art. If there's one thing you want to avoid at all costs, it's taking any kind of risk with your music. Don't even think about exploring new styles, don't experiment with textures, and whatever you do, do not push your boundaries. Just stick to the same old formula you've been using since day one. Who needs originality or a distinct voice when you can sound like everybody else? No need to innovate, no need to pick up a new instrument, and most important, you never ever have to make your music personal. Keep it generic so that it's actually harder for people to connect with your art. If you can avoid any form of artistic expression, you can make sure that your music stays stuck. You won't have to worry about standing out because you'll perfectly blend in with every other composer who's stuck in a rut. Sure, your music might be forgettable, but at least it's consistent. Number 2 is to always go solo. Collaboration is overrated. Who wants to deal with the hassle of other people's ideas? Ours are probably better anyway. Assert your dominance and make sure no one else can contribute to the conversation. Sure, you can let them slip in a thought here or there, so long as you come out on top. Instead of working together with a director or a producer who probably don't even know what they're talking about, tell them that you're the composer and your artistic music vision is what's best for the project. By avoiding collaboration and working together, you get to guarantee that your work stays locked in on your own limited perspective. No new ideas, no growth, and definitely no opportunities for learning from others. The last thing you want to do is manage differing opinions when you already know that you have the answer anyway. Step number 3 is to be chaotic and disorganized. Organization is exhausting. Inspiration is going to strike whenever it wants, and it's probably better for you not to have a system in place when it does. It's better to forget about any type of project management. Instead, keep all of your ideas on random sticky notes all over your screen. Keep a ton of voice memos that are unnamed.
New recording 1, new recording 2, final, new recording 3, this is actually final.
And if you have loose sheet music or important paperwork, just remember that the more scattered, the better. Now, let's be real for a second. When it comes to deadlines, just wing it. Honestly, the director's probably going to be more inspired by your lack of organization and systems. And when you get an email or a phone call that next morning, it's probably because they want to thank you for missing that deadline and not because you're getting fired. Wait, what? By refusing to implement any systems, you get to make sure that every project that you take on is an uphill battle, so long as you can still tell people that you're spontaneous. Now, if for whatever reason you're actually trying to find success in your composing career, then maybe you should check out the Composer Odyssey Index. This is a free assessment that I made specifically to help composers recognize the strengths that they naturally lean towards. The link is in the description down below, but again, this is only for those trying to work on their careers. But if you want to make sure that you ruin it, then step number 4 is to resist all change. Guess what? Change is scary, so avoid it at all costs. Stick to the same methods and tools that you've always used, even if the industry is moving in a different direction. Sure, there are new styles, new technologies, new platforms coming out every single day, but I'm telling you, these are just a fad. The key is to stay exactly where you are and resist all forms of progress. Who needs to adapt when you can just wait for the world to circle back to your comfort zone? If you can just resist change, you'll guarantee that you'll fall behind as the industry evolves. Your skills will become outdated, you'll struggle to find new opportunities, and best of all, you'll get to see a ton of composers succeeding around you while you get to stay comfortably stuck right where you are. Step number 5 is to make music for the money. Your deep love and appreciation for music is cute, but it's all about the grind. It's all about the hustle. Just make sure you focus solely on making music that sells, even if that means you have to crank out pieces that you have zero connection to. Whatever you got to do to bring in a paycheck, right? Who needs a sense of joy or personal fulfillment when you can work on projects that creatively drain you? Don't bother remembering why you fell in love with the music in the first place. Just keep your eye on the prize, which of course is money. This way you can guarantee that you'll lose the joy and the motivation that comes from making music that you actually care about. And step number 6 is to make sure that you don't connect with your audience. Whatever you do, don't bother trying to resonate with others or make a meaningful connection through your work. Just throw your music out there and hope that someone stumbles upon it. Engagement, storytelling, authenticity, these are just the buzzwords that people use to sound important. Just ignore them. The less that you care about making a genuine impact or being a positive influence on someone else's life, the less pressure that you have to make something that matters. You just want to make sure that your music stays isolated and disconnected from everyone else. The last thing you want to do is open up about who you are or why you make music in the first place. Just make sure that the only time that you post and engage on social media is so that you can ask people to click the link in your bio. This way you can feel extra frustrated when no one listens to your music. And if you really want to make sure that you ruin your composing career, then whatever you do, do not take the composer strengths assessment that's linked in the description down below. And do not watch this video here on the steps that you can take to start living your music career dream today. Now that you know exactly what not to do, go out there and make sure your career goes absolutely nowhere. This was ridiculous.